Now that you understand how to work and work inside the layer palette here with moving layers and things like that, let's talk about how we're going to get these individual pieces to kind of look more like things that you want them to look like. For instance, let's take this pepper here and try and make it an ear. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in here on the pepper a little bit, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to modify this. I'm going to warp it or transform it. There's all kinds of stuff that we can do to these things to kind of get them to look a little bit more like an ear or a bow tie or a hat, or whatever you're really trying to go after here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the pepper layer and make sure that that pepper is active. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to Edit, and down in Edit there's this transform section here, and there's all these things that we can do to this object. We can rotate it a specific amount, we can flip it vertically or horizontally, we can scale it, change its size, we can rotate it to any degree that we want. And then these three here, distort, perspective, and warp, these three here are going to allow us to change what that object looks like. We can actually physically pull and stretch and make it look like different things. So I'm going to show you warp here. So I'm going to go to warp, and then it brings you these little dots and these transform handles here. And all you can do is you can click and pull, and you can nudge, and you can squish this however you want. Maybe pinch it up a little bit here. Maybe I want to pull this in a little bit or stretch it out. Maybe something like this. We'll pull this one down a little bit. Maybe something like that. Yeah, we'll do something like that. So I've stretched it a little bit, and now that pepper, you can still tell it's a pepper, but it looks definitely totally different than it did when I was done. Okay, so I've got that where I like it, and now you come up here to the top and you can see this little check mark. So I'm going to hit confirm, and that is going to confirm that and lock it in position here. And now I want to rotate this a little bit. So I'm going to go up to Edit, Transform again, and I'm going to say Rotate, and I can rotate this around and get that kind of looking more like an ear. Again, I like that position. I'm going to click the little check mark on the top of the ribbon, and that's going to save it for me. Now I'm going to take my selection tool, the little arrow, and I'm going to move it up where I want it to be on my cutting board. And I can move it into position and get it exactly where I want it. But I don't want just one, I need two. So again, we're going to come back to the layers here, and we're going to right click, and I'm going to say duplicate. Now I've got my two, drag one to this side. Now I don't need two left ears, I need a left ear and a right ear. So for now I need to flip this pepper. So I'm going to go Edit, Transform, and I'm going to flip it horizontally here so it changes to the right ear. So now you can see I have the same pepper piece created on here for my left ear. I copied it, I rotated and flipped it, and I've got it now for the right ear. So you can see I've got uh, the pepper looking totally different here, and I changed its appearance by using the Edit, Transform window, and I used some of these options here. So now you guys know how to change what these things are going to look like. So go in here and modify what these pieces look like. Duplicate the layers, move them around, warp them, transform them, rotate them, scale them, get them to look like pieces that you're looking for. Maybe you want a specific looking nose or something like that. You can do that now with all of the tools in the Edit Transform window to make your people, monsters, whatever you're going for, look exactly how you want them to.